space-time fabric of the void is extremely illogical.
You did it. Your actions have saved Ingress from destruction once again. However, the frequency of colossi appearing and moving toward Ingress is increasing. And many of them have been spotted close to Ingress. We need to find a solution for this once and for all. At this rate, Ingress is more likely to be destroyed by the colossi than the Vulgus. To prevent that from happening, we must close the dimensional wall immediately.
Have you completed preparations?
The success of this operation will lead us to victory. I've received the intercept battle results from Seneca. This won't do. Since we have the Ironheart, closing at least one part of the dimensional wall might be a good idea. Everyone, we're going to use the Ironheart at the Albion Prime hands. It's time to fulfill our desire to stop the Colossi. Enzo, prepare to activate the Prime hands.
Affirmative.
Descendant, why don't you go and observe? Since you played a key part in securing the Ironheart, you should experience this glorious moment firsthand. The future of humanity will change from here on out. I'm proud of you.
HQ, the Ironheart is in position. Prime hands ready to be activated.
I never thought that I'd live to witness this moment. Activate Prime hands. I'll also head. Enzo, what happened? Why has the emergency stop been activated?
It's the guide. Alpha, the guide wants to speak with you urgently. It's about the Ironheart.
Attention, all descendants. Listen to what I have to say for a moment. Please, do not use the Ironheart. We don't have much time.
I am analyzing the void paradox.
Descendant. Descendant, I have a responsibility to guide everyone on the proper use of the Ironheart. As such, I strongly recommend that you delay in using the Ironheart. If we use the Ironheart inside Albion, we may entice all of the Colossi to us. With our discovery of the final Ironheart, all the Ironhearts in Ingress have been exposed. Soon, the Ingress dimension will reach a state of entropy saturation. The energy emitted by the 3 Ironhearts is too great to be circulated naturally. If we close the dimensional wall now, it could disrupt this already strained energy circulation, leading to a greater disaster. The point where the circulation is disrupted will connect to the void dimension, and the location of Ingress will be divulged to all Colossi. Powerful Colossi like Devourer have already appeared. It would be wise to refrain from using the Ironheart now. What if we just...
Enough! I don't want to hear anything else you have to say. You can disconnect, Enzo. Reactivate the Ironheart and the Prime hands immediately.
Alpha, are you seriously going to go ahead with this? Even after hearing all of that? Please reconsider.
Okay, sounds like it's about to get noisy in HQ again. What is it? As an executive officer, this whole situation is very confusing. Ever since the Magisters announced the dimension isolation theory, the Ironhearts and the dimensional walls have been the only way to save humanity. But now it looks like the Ironhearts can also bring disaster. This isn't a situation where we can just blindly trust the guide. Countless soldiers have lost their lives, and a huge amount of resources and time have been spent looking for the Iron Hearts. We're talking about the hopes of humankind crumbling away here. But if what the guide says is true, we have to re-examine our plan for humanity, as well as reconsider the purpose of the Iron Hearts. I thought it would be over once we found the Iron Hearts, but things are getting more complicated. Oh, I'm receiving a transmission from Alpha. I think he's looking for you.
Descendant, return to HQ immediately. I'll fill you in on the operation. Nell and I have reached an agreement. I don't like it, but it's workable. Just get to the point. But first, I need to speak to you about something, Descendant. I understand the Ironhearts attract Colossi, but that can be solved by closing the dimensional wall. Not using the Ironheart when faced with this possibility is too great a sacrifice for humanity. There has been no bigger threat to us than the Colossi and the Vulgus. For humankind who has lived through such disasters, this is our best chance, and we must bet everything on it. We'll use the Ironheart as planned, however. Taking all opinions into consideration, we have decided to use the Ironheart at a different location, not in Albion. If you're concerned about what the guide said, we'll use the Ironheart somewhere else, away from Albion. Strategically and tactically, we found a good location for it. The White Knight Gulch. So far, prime hands have been found in the following zones: the Albion Mountains, the Hagios Fields, and the White Knight Gulch, the location of the main base of the Order of Truth. Yes, I did say main base, but Vulgus occupation of the White Knight Gulch has declined by 50%, according to the latest reports. That means it's worth a shot. Also, the Vulgus forces have lost a large number of units over the last few decades. Even if we estimate the number of remaining forces to be high, we'll have no trouble defending the area near the prime hands. Descendant, go to the White Knight Gulch and secure the ruins containing the prime hands. Valby and Eugen should still be there. They were sent to investigate Ironheart traces. I'll have them support you. Enzo, if the guide acts suspiciously, report to me immediately.
You don't need to worry. The guide is an AI with no corporeal form. She can't utilize any physical force by herself. And we also have no way to stop the guide at this moment.
That is definitely a problem.
Before you hurt yourself, make sure you get permission, please. Hey. HQ filled me in. You're gonna use the Ironheart here, apparently? How annoying. I had charts to write and other things to take care of. When exactly will I be able to look for my troop members? An operation? Oh. How are we gonna get to the prime hands? Well, you can work with Valby and figure that out yourselves. Valby was in charge of battle recon right up until you got here. If I can offer some advice, don't get hurt. Please. We're out of everything. Medicine, bandages, my will to live. If I had one wish, it'll be that none of you got hurt. That way, there won't be anything to annoy me. Go catch up with Valby. I'll make preparations as well.
Eugen, we're all teammates. Can't you sweeten your attitude just a little bit?
Sorry, all out of sugar here.
Water will guide us. You have to understand, Eugen hasn't had a decent night's sleep ever since we got here. The medical corps unit he was in charge of went missing during combat. An emergency evacuation request came in from the main base of the Order of Truth. Eugen was taking care of some seriously wounded soldiers at the time, so he couldn't do anything. So to help him out, his medical corps unit responded to the request. They didn't take backup, and we lost contact with them. Then the enemy attacked and we were forced to retreat to here. That's how intense this area used to be. But I know HQ has said that the Vulgus presence here has decreased to less than 50% of what it was. That's so strange. Why would they reduce their forces for no reason? Anyway, we should take advantage of the current situation and find our way to the first gate. If enemy forces really have reduced, we should be able to get through the gate without any problems. The prime hands are just beyond it.
Valby, do you want us to just barge through the gate? You sure your suit isn't affecting your brain?
What?
I'm asking you if you're out of your mind. The area near the gate is swarming with Order of Truth troops.
We've been told that the number of Vulgus forces have reduced. Stop looking at your charts and read the report from HQ.
If you see any way of breaking through the gate, please let me know first. I need to find my corps members.
Of course, Doctor. This is the only way to get through the gate, so we have to move quietly. Wait. I see Order of Truth scouts. They must be on patrol. Let's attack them before they spot us. I want you to take care of all of them before the alarm goes off. Running at us. I don't think they have a real commander.
Shall we race?
An improvised unit. If we eliminate whoever's giving orders, the rest of it will be as easy as sailing downstream. way.
Loading. Smooth as ice.
According to the analysis report of the drone, the Vulgus Gate can read biodata. I've contacted a biodata expert for help.
Eugen! Happy to help. What are friends for? If you can gather enough Vulgus DNA, I can build a dummy that will fool the gate. Eugen, did you hear me? I know you're probably busy.
Something I need to personally do.
Oh, you did hear me. That's okay, of course. I'll isolate and organize the necessary data before sending it to you. We've got company. Don't let them steal the data. Order of truth DNA, so we need as much data as possible. It's very complex, and genetic mapping isn't easy. Protect the data, Descendant. The number of enemies is significantly reduced. I think we should be able to break through the gate now.
Where did they all go? For now, let's just keep moving. We can take care of any remaining enemies as we go.
This must be all of them. Do you think they've retreated? And this is the rear guard?
too early to jump to conclusions. We need more data. Let's focus on eliminating any remaining enemy troops, for now.
I'm loading.
There's something around here with energy strong enough to shake water. Be careful.
My shield is down. Stay where you are.
Phew. All quiet. All that's left is the gate barrier.
Let's try breaking through now.
Loading.
This should be enough. Eugen can thank me later.
memories.
This is Echo. Can you hear me? I'll be providing remote support with the scan drone. Activating scan drone. I'll scan the terrain and pulse data of the enemy's territory and analyze patterns. Once analysis is complete, we'll be able to predict the movement of enemy troops. While I do that, I need you to protect the drone.
It's not.
Like their numbers have reduced a lot. HQ made the right call. This drone is out in valuable trials. I really don't want to have to deal with the repair master if it's damaged.
This could get messy.
As we have the drone, you can use it to gather data about the Ancestor facility as well. You need to have a map. I have other things to take care of.
You heard him. Let's keep moving toward the central area. I've gathered all the necessary data. Fortunately, the drone is still intact.
Shall we race?
this the death god you spoke of?
It is. I thought we had invaded it, but it was close behind us. Stay low and be careful. Unless you have a death wish.
Can't see us from that distance.
It appeared from nowhere and killed everything. Do you think mere distance matters?
I see. You said this monster even massacred the demons.
The only method of escape is to get as far away from it as possible. I know this because it is how I survived until now.
Stop! It appears to be looking this way. Get down. And don't move.
Oh, it didn't see us. Thank God. Do you now trust me? The best course of action is to get as far away from it as possible.
Agreed. Tell the others to stay low and keep moving. We must head south while evading this monster. Cody, commit its appearance and characteristics to the record. I have a terrible feeling it's not the only one out there.
I'll catch you up.
Fine. I'll go on ahead.